Hey, what's going on, everybody? Bitcoin is pumping right now, or maybe it's over with. We're going to talk about that and more. We'll probably talk about some altcoins too, but for now, we can see the price inching its way up towards the top of this. The big question is, are we going to break out? So far, we don't know that yet. Here's a couple ideas for you. Number one, obviously, I've been talking about this for a while. When we were all the way back up here, I said, hey, it's probably not going to just keep rocking. Most likely, what we're seeing here, because of this little back and forth, what most likely is happening is this is a flat. So, for example, you have an A, B, and a C, and that's called a flat, right? It's an Elliott wave term. I encourage, if you don't know, just Google what a flat is. There's an expanded flat and a regular flat, a running flat. So we have a flat worked out right here. And now the cool thing is we had a reaction off of that flat. What is that reaction? Well, we had this sort of this impulse. We have this little ascending triangle, and we broke out of that ascending triangle. So it appears like, okay, we got a flat, we got an impulse. It appears to be bullish, but here's the thing. Here's my main thing. Number one, we haven't broken the top yet. Number two, this is only 3 waves. In order for a trend to be bullish, you want to see 5. So for example, 1, 2, 3, maybe 3. I would like 3 to break out, come back for 4, and then go 5. And that would probably be the end of Bitcoin, at least for a while. Why do I say that? Because that would mean, not for the altcoins, for Bitcoin. A lot of times Bitcoin likes to move first, right? Obviously, it moves first. Once Bitcoin chills out and consolidates, goes sideways while still remaining bullish, that's when the altcoins catch up. There's many examples in my previous videos I've showed. So in other words, the reason why this could potentially be the last wave up in here is because then at that point we would have a 1, a 2, all of this is 3, the flat in the middle, A, B, C, is 4, and now we're going up for 5. Each wave needs 5 waves, especially wave 3 and 5. Usually wave 3 is the biggest wave. That's usually how it comes out to be. Usually wave 4 is a lot of uncertainty. It gets very complex. People didn't know what was happening because, for example, we broke out, right? We were chilling here. We're going sideways. I don't know what's happening. We break out. Oh my God, we're bullish. And boom, oh my God, we're bearish. And then boom, oh my God, we're bullish. So it's like, what's happening? And that's what a flat is designed to do. It's designed to confuse you. It's designed to draw out liquidity and draw in liquidity, for the opposite side of the trade that you're not on. And basically how they do that is they know retail is drawing a line here. This is all support right in here. The price breaks below support. What do? They go short. What do? They sell. Why do they do that? Well, because they broke support. But the important thing is, in order for their bags to be filled, because if you're trying to buy $2 million, $3 million, $7 million worth of Bitcoin, you can't just buy it anywhere you want. You got to wait for your order to get filled, right? So if you go on any exchange and put an order in, you got to wait until your order is filled. Now imagine having that order be in the millions of dollars. Then it takes even longer to get filled. So you need an influx of liquidity. So that liquidity pours in when or support is broken, right? So it's like, well, then how do you know if this isn't a continue down? Well, you need confirmation. So for example, if we break below this line and then we back tested it and then continue down, then yeah, it would make sense. But what happened was we sort of consolidated sideways. We broke up above the resistance, right, which was our previous support. We consolidated sideways, and now we're sitting back at the top. And what I've been saying time and time again is Bitcoin is trying to find a range. It's not going to go straight down, and it might not go straight up. So why do I say that? Because if you zoom out, Bitcoin, right? If you know my videos, it's all about what? The phases. And what is the phases? You have a bull market, you have a bear market, you have a retracement, right? And then you go down for reaccumulation. People are reaccumulating, and then you go sideways, and then you go to a new bull market, right? And what is that? That's kind of like what? A cup and handle, or whatever people like to call it. But more importantly, right, as we were in the midst of a bear market, people don't want to buy, especially down here, because they feel like we have to go to 10K, we have to go to 9K, we have to go, and back test these areas down here, right? That's what it has to do. But a lot of times, if you're going down, 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 you can't, nothing goes down in a straight line. But what happens psychologically is let's say you come down, you buy the dip, it goes up, yay, and then it crashes. Okay, yeah, I get it. Let's buy the dip again. We go up, and then it crashes again. Now it's like, nah, I'm gonna wait. Nah, I'm tired. I got burned here. I'm gonna wait. So what happens is we come down, and then we start going up, right? And it's like, oh, it's a dead cat bounce. We're gonna come back down, and then we come back up, and it's like, okay, now I can't take it anymore. Now I'm gonna buy, and that's when we come down. But we're not going down crashing to the midst of the earth, right? What I think could happen is, I've said it many times, either number one, right, rise, crash, retrace. Maybe we retrace higher. Maybe we get up to between 50 to 60K, then we come back down. Then we go sideways, then we break out. Because we have a base here, right? Or we have a base here, we have a base here, and potentially another base here. So this whole thing from here all the way up, from here all the way up is one move. The trend from 2023, so it's been going on for longer than a year. Bitcoin's been going up for a year, but it hasn't felt like that. It hasn't really felt like that, right? And that's what it's designed to do. It's designed to make you not think that. So, but then when we get in the retracement levels, now it starts to feel bullish, right? But you got to be cautious because look, we're going up, 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 up. So this whole thing is one wave. So you would think, is it going to continue to go like this, or is it going to come down? We have a counter move. So we're going up. We have a counter move. Then we consolidate a little bit. Then we go up. Right? That's sort of what happens. Now, how can you say the altcoins are going to, perform or do anything if, in fact, Bitcoin looks like it's going to go down? Well, here's the thing. I don't believe that Bitcoin's going to go down right now. I mean, look at the price. It's still very bullish. I think there's a few different options, right? Number one, like I said, we go up for that fifth wave. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And if that's the end, it's still not the end. Because why? Because what happens then is we range for a bit and then we go down. So as you're going sideways, right, and all of this mess, that's when the altcoins start to catch up, right? Because if you go back in time, that's usually what always happens. So for example, I've said this before, so just a fast recap. Most of the altcoins exploded when Bitcoin was already at its top. It was already done. Bitcoin was already finished, and most of the altcoins were down here. But once Bitcoin got up here, then they caught up very fast. So there's many examples. Okay, so if that's the case, then what's happening here? Well, that could be what's kind of happening here, right? So we go up, we distribute, right? So boom, 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 right? During this boom, 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 that's when the alts catch up. So if that's the case, and we're gonna start ranging, maybe Bitcoin hasn't topped yet, which means if it hasn't topped yet, then that means we haven't ranged yet. So let's wait and see. And this is actually very bullish, right? Because a lot of the altcoins are chilling down here. They're waiting for Bitcoin to either break out or start distribution in here. Either way, it's bullish for the alts, because if we distribute in here, that's when we catch up, because that's exactly what happened here. This was distribution, we caught up. You could say, yeah, well, that was a bull market, this is a retracement. But at the same time, we're not asking for a new bull market in the alts. We're just asking for a retracement. Now let's look at the price of Theta, right? You could see Theta. I did a video, my last video, highly recommend if you haven't watched it, to watch it. Even if you don't own Theta, I think you should watch it, because it goes without question with the other alts as well. So if you are a Matic holder or a Solana holder, or even whatever, right? Any altcoin, it basically applies. If in fact Bitcoin is up here, I'm expecting Theta to get up here too. How does Theta get up here? How does XRP? How does any coin you want? If your coin, so what I want you to do is tell me what your coin is. So take it from the top, your Fibonacci, and pull it all the way down. If your coin is nowhere near the 618, the 786, or even the 50, then chances are your coin, I mean, I can't speak what coin you got, but if it's in the top 20, 30, or even maybe in the top 50, depending what it is, right? Because not all coins are going to be winners. But a lot of times, if they had a big run up, a big crash, and they're chilling at the lows in a range, and Bitcoin's already at its retracement level, chances are that coin will start to make its way back up. A good example would be Chainlink. Another good example would be Solana, right? Those coins are the leaders. They're the front runners. They're leading the pack, right? So, for example, would I buy Chainlink? No. Why? Because it's already up here. Would I buy Bitcoin? No. Why? Because it's already up here. I'm looking for coins that are not. And to me, the best one, the best looking one, right, are what I've been saying is Theta Fuel, and you know, coins that look like that. Filecoin is another one. And just remember, nothing I say on this video is financial advice. Always remember, I could be dead wrong, completely wrong. So always be prepared. And it's not about being right or about being wrong at the end of the day. It's about figuring out what's probable, what's not probable, right? So to me, what's most probable is an altcoin retracement. So we'll talk about that. But let's first go back to Bitcoin. And today is a good day. This is a celebration day, right? I mean, look at this. We got a good pump, right? We're at local highs. And by the way, let's go to the weekly chart. If the weekly chart, this is a big deal right here. Look at this. If the weekly chart closes above all of these candles, you got yourself a brand new weekly high, right? Since going back over here, I would say, let's see where the last high was. It looks like December 20th of 2021. So right around here, right? That's a long time ago. So December 22, December 23, right? So that was about 2 years ago. So it was quite some time. And if I'm not saying we're going to close there, but what we really like to see is a close above this little cluster right here. So this is a cluster, right? A cluster of weekly candles. We have an engulfing candle breaking out of this cluster, right? Now here's the thing. You see this, we have one problem. This red candle right here in the middle with this nasty wick, because that red candle was the rejection, and this wick was the rejection of the 618. So if we come down here and I draw that right about there, right? Let me actually take that off log scale. Boom. So that should be, yep, that should be right about the 1618. So our big deal here is to get above this area. So 48. So ideally, you want to see the weekly chart break above 48,462, right around there. So I'll just take this off now. So there's your line right there. So right now we rejected strongly with a rejection wick. We came down in this flat pattern, and now we have this engulfing candle that's right at the face of this line. Now today is Friday, right? Is today Friday? Is today Friday? Yeah, today's Friday. So we have Saturday and we have Sunday and the rest of today. So we have approximately, it says right here, 2 days and 4 hours. So Bitcoin has some time. Now, do I think it's going to break it? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to break it. I think what's more likely is a pullback. Why do I say that? Well, because if you go to the 4-hour chart and I go like this, look how oversold we are. Or, I'm sorry, overbought. That doesn't mean much, right? But we are overbought. So let's see. Let's see what happens. Now let's pull up some targets here. So I'm going to take everything off the screen, and we're going to see where this wave could potentially go. So what I like to use, a lot of people use Fibonacci. I like to use it too, but I also like to use trend-based Fibonacci. Basically what that means is you take the Fibonacci from the bottom of the wave, you go all the way up to where it topped out at, and then you click it again, and then you bring it all the way down to the bottom. So in that case, it would be right there. So we'll go all the way to the bottom. And a lot of times, if it's an ABC, sometimes it goes to the 1-to-1, right? So a 1-to-1 extension. And the 1-to-1 extension is right here, which in fact it already passed it, right? So that gives us some hope that it's potentially a third wave. Now, if it is a third wave, where do we want it to go? Well, ideally, what would be really, really great is if we hit the 1.618 at 50,000. That would be amazing. That would be a super strong signal that this is no ABC, but rather a third wave. Not only that, we would be breaking the high. So 50K, right about there. And if not, then the 1.414. If not that, then 1.272. So somewhere in there. So yeah, right there. And I'll take this off. So that's sort of the hope that we get there. Does that mean it's going to get there? I don't know. I have no idea. We have to. That's the thing. We have to wait and see how it starts to go. Now it is Friday. A lot of times you go into Saturday and Sunday, which means what? It's the weekend. And sometimes once in a while you get a big weekend pump, but a lot of times volume. That's the thing. Volume. I don't really use a lot of volume. I know volume's important. You know, it signals, because if you break out, you want to see the volume. Is there a lot of volume, right? If there's no volume and you get a big breakout, chances are it's probably a flat. But since I use Elliott wave anyway, I can kind of gauge it. But it's not always, the volume indicator is not always ideal. For example, if you have a red candle, like the volume's down here, I don't have it up, but You have the green bars, the red bars, right? Sometimes the volume will be red, but actually it's bullish volume. So it's a little bit deceiving how it works. But anyway, let's get back to the ideas. So again, idea number one, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, if that idea happens, because TA is always about if this, then this. If this, then this. If this idea happens, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, what does that mean? And what does that mean for the alts? That means, number one, we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which would complete the fifth wave, right? Which means also what? Which means it could be the end of the retracement. Why do I say the end of the retracement? Because a retracement is usually what? It's usually an A, B, and a C, right? A three-wave move. So this whole thing is a three-wave move. What would be, if you want Bitcoin to break out into new all-time high, what needs to happen? Well, this cannot be an ABC. This has to be a 1, 2, 3. Then we pull down for 4. Then we go up for 5. If that happens, that, my friends, is bullish. Because then at that point, I would think, okay, we're starting a new cycle, right? So I would say, okay, that means we're going to probably get an ABC. And then another, let me zoom out here. Another 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe up 150, 200K, 250, right? So something like that. Right? And then a pullback, and then probably another high, right? So 5 waves. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now it looks a little big. It looks kind of big, so I'm not sure. And there's no, again, this is just speculation. If this, then this. If this, then this. If this, then this, right? So I'm just kind of going 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step ahead. It's totally unnecessary, but for entertainment purposes, it's, it's interesting to talk about, right? But there's no reason to talk. I mean, that comes out all the way, years down the line. So there's no point. So anyway, so if that happens, that would be great. Now that doesn't mean, right, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that doesn't mean that whole thing I just said was going to happen, but it could lead to that in a series of events. So for now, what's next? Well, to me, we hit the 618, and now Bitcoin either is going to take out the high, then come back, because I still want to see the bull market support band get tested. It still hasn't gotten tested yet, right? So, and I also believe that at some point we're probably going to test 31K, because you can see here's your range. You break out of the range, you didn't back test the range. You broke above the bull market support band, but you didn't back test the bull market support band. So there's a little bit of uncertainty because we didn't get a back test here and we didn't get a back test here. So what does that mean? Well, that means idea number 2. So again, idea number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. But before I get to idea number 2, if we have idea number 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then at that point I'm thinking, okay, we still want to come back down to test the bull market support band. Now, depending what happens here, we can lead to a big thing, or what could be happening, right? There's a lot of possibilities. There's no way to know for sure. So I like to just run through the ideas and then sort of narrow it down. And then as the time comes, we rule out what it's not. It's not about finding a definite answer. It's about ruling out what it's not. So if we break the high, then I'm going to think, then that's good because I can rule out things. If it doesn't, then, we're going to continue to work on it. But for now, if this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then at that point we can get an ABC and a continuation, but it probably won't be a continuation. If we get a fifth wave, it's probably done, which means because I don't believe we're going to continue going. I believe we're going to go into reaccumulation. So the big question is, when is the retracement over? Now, it appears like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now the retracement is over. So I'm going to get to idea number 2, but first, idea number 1, if we get up here into a wave 5, then we still don't know. We got to establish a range, right? So if I subjectively say it's going to top out at 54 or between 51, 52, 53, 54 area, then I'm going to draw a range, right? So now the range can be deep. It can be all the way down here, right? But we'll put it in the middle because the bull market support band is going to continue to rise, so you can't put it there. So I'm going to put it right about there, right around 35K, 34, 35. So if we come up here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm suspecting then we're going to come down and we're going to meet this bull market support band. Now, hopefully we get a bounce off of it, which I think could happen. So as that happens, then we come back down, maybe come back up, then come back down, right? So we're going up and down, up and down, up and down. So we're going to oscillate. What does that mean? That means Bitcoin has topped out and now we are distributing. Because think about it. If we go straight up, or if we go up here, we're not going to go straight down. That's usually not what happens. Because what happens is a lot of people have been buying. Smart money has been buying since 2023. They're buying. So especially when they test the bull market support band, they buy, right? So their bags are loaded. So if you got $20 million worth of Bitcoin, you can't just sell it right at the top. You got to wait for it to come down, come back up, sell a little bit more. Come down, come back up, sell a little bit more. And what that means is it takes time to unload your bag. It's not like me or you where we can just dump one position and that's it, or buy one position. They have to dump multiple positions because if they dumped a whole position, a lot of times it wouldn't get filled unless they do a market order, in which case they're getting a horrible price, right? So same thing that happened over here. Look at this. Bitcoin was going up, but it didn't go straight down. We just kind of chilled out. Now, there are instances, like back over here, where we had a blow off top. Because this was a bubble, and bubbles pop. And then it's sort of a panic. It's a race. You're racing to get out of your position, right? This is not a race. This is like a methodical type of event that's happening here, in my opinion. So basically, long story short, if we're going to break out, let's go, right? But if not, then idea number 2, which is what? Which is this right here, which is very, very likely. Why is it likely? Well, let me tell you the idea first. So we have this 3-wave move. We have another 3-wave move. We get another 3-wave move. So what would that be? That would be this right here. That would be a W, X, Y. Now, Y can come down a lot further, or I'm hoping if this is a WXY that we get some support on the bull market support band. So we'll see what happens. Now, which idea is better, idea 1 or idea 2? Well, so far right now, idea 2. Why? Well, because of a few things. Number 1, we haven't broken the top. Number 2, we have only 3 waves. 1, 2, 3. So I'm not getting super excited. Yes, we are back at the top, and we can easily continue going, right? That would change my mind quickly, right? But so far, we just have 3 waves. So it can, get everybody bullish. And this is what I'm saying. If this is a distribution range, that's what they do, right? They get everybody bullish here. They sell. They bring the price down. Now everybody's bearish, right? But then they kind of tick up the price again, and then they unload another bag. So let's say if you have $5 million worth of Bitcoin, the big whale, right? He sells maybe 2 million, comes down, right? Comes back up here, sells another 2 million, right? He still has 1 million left, right? You come back down. Okay, we come back up again, sells another 1 million. Now he's completely out. And usually it's 3. 1, 2, 3 in a distribution range. And then the price starts to sort of continue down, right? But not down forever, just down to what? What I've always thought, which is what? Back testing this range here. So we have this range, right? And we're oscillating in the range. We break out of the range, but we never back tested it. So I would think we would come down and back test this range. Then what would happen? This is, by the way, this is sort of my primary thesis. And I could be wrong. And there's different variations of it. So it doesn't have to happen exact. For example, we can come up here, we can break out and then range and then come down, right? There's different variations, but for now, you're in this distribution, right? You come here and you back test the range. Then you start coming back up, right? And you're basically, now you're going into reaccumulation. Now here's the tricky part. Every step you go out, because you can kind of foresee. So for example, I'm foreseeing 1 step, but this is 1 step, 2 step, 3 step, 4 step. The more steps you go out, the more speculative, the more uncertainty, the more wrong you can be. But at the same time, it's kind of the pathway that I would see if this happens and then this happens, and if that happens then this happens, So, and all of it leads to, right, when you zoom out, it's only a couple steps. When you zoom in, it's multiple steps, right? So when I zoom out, what is it? We're going into reaccumulation. So we have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation. Now, like I said, reaccumulation can happen in different phases. So for example, we can come down and reaccumulate here and go sideways and then continue. Or, let me take everything off real quick. Price can come down and range with here and sort of back test the range like this and then continue, right? Or it can come all the way down here, rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, right? And sort of range down here and then go. Or it can just sort of range sideways and go. You don't know, right? Reaccumulation is sideways. But usually you have a down move and then sideways. The question is, where is that range established? We don't know yet. Because why? We're still in the retracement, right? Now, if this is not a retracement and we continue rocking it to the upside, then great. Hey, I'd be so happy to be wrong. This is the best news ever, right? Because what's good for Bitcoin is good for the alts. And if Bitcoin breaks out into a new all-time high, that would be amazing. Do I think it's going to happen? Not. If it does, I don't think it's happening anytime soon. I mean, I can always be surprised. But why do I say that? Well, because I really want to see this tested, the bull market support band tested. If we can come down and test it, with a big strong bounce out of there, then I'm going to start thinking, okay, now the probability of a range sort of decreased and the probability of a breakout of an all-time high increased. But there's still that, risk of what could happen. So I don't claim to know. I just want to throw out these ideas. So at the end of the day, it's best to look one step and not so many steps, but it's good to also have an idea. If something happens, you want to know ahead of time, right? So we have 2 ideas. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we range. Then we go down for reaccumulation, sideways breakout. Second idea, we just start ranging now, breakdown, reaccumulation, breakout, right? And then obviously a continuation, just continue rocking it to the upside. So either way, whatever happens, I still believe, now we'll go to the alts. I still believe, like something like Theta has the ability to get out of here. And I'm not going to go through all the reasons again. If you want all those reasons, watch the video I put out yesterday. But real fast, we broke the line, right? We broke out, we back tested the line. We also have Wyckoff accumulation with your spring, your liquidity grab, your impulse, right? We also have the impulse, the back test of what? The bull market support band. So here's the bull market support band right here. You can see this is the best thing. This is what I want Bitcoin to do right here. If Bitcoin can do this, right, we're testing. And now look, this green candle is now trading above this green candle. So, so we'll see if we can get a continuation. But to me, it looks like we're starting to head up. Now, is this a retracement, an A, B, C, then up? Or is this just going to go up? Either way, I think we're going to get a retracement. Just like how I believe we're going to get a retracement over here on the larger time frame. So somewhere up here. So plus you have a shoulder, a head, a potential another shoulder, right? This is a bullish, this is a bottoming formation, right? Look how long it's been going, bottoming out. It's bottom, right? It's trying to gear up for that retracement. Now the good thing is Bitcoin is already here. So if Bitcoin is already here, then that gives it gasoline to catch up. And when does altcoins catch up? Altcoins catch up when Bitcoin is what? Ranging. Bitcoin isn't ranging yet. Why? Because it's still pumping. It still has to establish its range. Once Bitcoin establishes a range, then we can catch up. So it's coming soon. We'll just have to wait and see. So I haven't talked about, and real quick, like for example, if you look at Chainlink, look at the difference between Theta and Chainlink. I mean, look at that. Theta is down here, right? So look at Chainlink. Chainlink went sideways, bottom, and then it broke out in a retracement. Theta is still down here, so we're going to catch up, or we don't. Nothing's ever for sure that we don't have to catch up, but it's likely, right? Especially because Chainlink is a good asset, right? It's I think it's an oracle, or it's something that links other chains together. I'm not really sure of the techie side of it, but it's a good asset from what I've told, and Theta is too. So if Theta is, then you can be confident in that. Let's see, Theta Fuel. It's the same thing. Now look at this. Look at Link. Look at that. We have a rise, a crash, sideways, retrace. rise, crash, sideways, retrace. Now look at Theta Fuel. We have a rise, crash, sideways. What comes next? Rise, crash, sideways. That's what comes next, right? Because that's what Link did. Not to say it has to do that, but come on, if Link did it, you would think, right? People rotate their Link into an altcoin that's back down here. So like, for example, if I have $100 worth of Chainlink, it goes up, I just made good money. I take all of that money and I put it back into an asset down here, and then it goes up again. Now I just doubled it, right? So there we go. So XRP, I have this fractal here. Look at that, look at that, look at that. It's pumping here. I should have bought more. I should have, you always go back and say, dang it, I should have bought more. Look at that. We have a 9, right? I'm not going to make this an XRP video. That'll be the next video. But just real quick, we have a 9 buy, right? So also, we have a potential diagonal, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, see ya, right? And that's sort of what I'm hoping happens. Now we can come down further and go. We can take out this support, A, B, C, get everybody super bearish, grab that liquidity, then go. And that's potentially what could happen. But for now, we're getting a bounce. So you can see the bounce right now. If we do come down further, we're probably going to go up first and then come back down. So it would either be, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right, to finish up that C wave, or it's potentially already finished with an A, B, C, and then we continue going higher, right? So we could talk about that in the next video, but just this primary video is probably just mostly Bitcoin, and understanding where Bitcoin is, because if you understand kind of where we at with Bitcoin, then your altcoin is safe, right? Especially since we've been going down since when? Since November. So December, January, and now February, right? So we've been steadily going down, and now it looks like we're trying to find a bottom here, and it looks like we're creating some kind of a base, which is good. You always want to see a base or support being established. So let's see if we can get out of here. The good thing is, right, Bitcoin is essentially right, if this was the high of Bitcoin's already up here, right? So you would like to see it catch up, right? But when does it catch up? When Bitcoin goes sideways. That's when usually they catch up. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's see, what else? Obviously, you guys know where I stand on XRP, and my primary idea here is you have a bull, bear, retracement, reaccumulation, sideways. Just like how we were talking about with Bitcoin, right? So imagine Bitcoin being here. It still has to go down, and then it still has to go sideways, and then it can gear up for the next bull run. Kind of like how it did back over here, right? So the same thing, you have a rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, then you go sideways, then you break out. Right? So it's just another type of thing, but it's just bigger, right? So you have this, 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 and this, and potentially we'll get that, right? So we'll see. We'll see how it works out. So yeah, let's look at HBAR real quick. Now HBAR, if you remember on my update, I said, hey, there's a good chance we're going to come down and test the bull. Look at that. We tested the bull market support band, and bam, we got a major reaction off of it. A substantial, an engulfing candle, right? So if I zoom in, I think we were up here when I did the video. I can't remember. I don't remember where I did the video. But basically I said, hey, this looks like an orderly correction, right? You have this trend, right? We're trending to the upside, and this is sort of correcting to the downside. Not only it's correcting, it's also back testing the bull market support band. Not only that, it's also looking like a little Wyckoff thing going on here. You can see this boom, 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 creek, liquidity grab, and then a spike. So what do I think here? Probably something like that. Hopefully we get that. Now there's always a chance we can come back down and retest it, right? So we come down, we test it, come back up. And I said the more times you test it, the better, right? Because that completely confirms, like, hey, it's showcasing that buyers, the bulls are in control. The bulls are maintaining control, right? So control, and look at all, I like this right here. See that cluster? That cluster of candles? Like the bull market support band is like, I got you, buddy. You're not going anywhere. I got you, right? I'm supporting you. And, let the price catch its breath, right? It's basically holding, right? The price is flying, and now it's crashing down the bull market support band like Superman comes in and saves the day. It allows the price to catch its breath, and now it can start flying again. So yeah, well, we'll see. If I had to guess, right? It's either, there's always two options: A, B, C, go, or this is done and now we're gonna go, right? So until we break below the bull market, so if it's bearish, right, and we break, here's the bull market support band right here, and we break below it, I'm still not bearish until we come back up and we test it as resistance. Now it's the bear market resistance band, and then we go down. If we get rejected and start going down, then it's like, okay, now we got to look at it differently. But like I said, there's no reason to talk about that yet. Bitcoin is almost at a new yearly high. It's still ways away from its bull market support band. Meanwhile, the altcoins have a healthy correction, a healthy pullback, healthy consolidation, a beautiful structure, a corrective structure, right? So everything's lining up for a lot of these altcoins to start catching up to where Bitcoin is at its 618. So if I zoom out and I draw this fib right around there, right? We can see, like, we're nowhere at the retracement levels. So all the retracement levels are up here. So we're still down here. But Bitcoin is up here, right? So we want to see this guy get back up here at some point, right? And then, only then, we can decide, okay, is this going to be like a cup and a handle? Or is this thing just going to shoot out? Usually you have a rise, right? A rise, crash, retrace, reaccumulation, sideways, break it. That's why I like XRP, right? Why? Why do I like XRP? Well, because XRP, in my opinion, has already completed that. You can see here, right? You could see right here, right? It came all the way up to the top in that cup, and then it pulled down, and then it went sideways, like a cup and a handle, right? It's like a cup and a handle. So hopefully we can get this cup to get back up to here, right? And then we can break out, back test, and then be on our way. So take a mental screenshot of that, right? XRP is right here. So take a mental screenshot of that, and now look at, for example, like Link. Link still. So let me just show you real quick. So if you look at Link, right, and then go to XRP, so let me just do this. So Link on the XRP chart is right here, right? So that's where it's at. So let me go back to the Link chart. So Link, it still has a little ways to go up, right? It can still continue to pump. So, but XRP is right here. So it looks like it's already ready to go. And you could say, well, yeah, but it doesn't line up, you know, with. But here's the thing: XRP doesn't go up like any other coin. You see how nice and easygoing this is? You have a pullback, you kind of go up, you pull back, you kind of go up, you pull back, you kind of go up. No, XRP does this. It goes sideways and tortures everybody. And then it goes boop, and then it's over. So it's very, very fast and quick, right? So that's kind of what the idea here is. I mean, you can see what happened last time. It didn't just go like this, like a normal chart. It went boom and boom, right? And now what do we have? We have boom, boom, right? And we have sideways, sideways, and boom, right? So hopefully we get that boom. I'm praying for the day it happens. I've been holding XRP a while, right? If I can go back in time, I'd probably wouldn't hold it as long, right? Nobody can, because I was geared up here with the rest of the market. I'm thinking, yes, this is the bull run, but it wasn't, right? A lot of coins took off, moonshot, but XRP didn't. XRP just went into a retracement. Now looking back, I'm thinking, okay, that was actually a blessing. That was a good thing, because what happened is it allowed it to fulfill its phase, right? Which is bull, bear, retrace, reaccumulation, right? So now all the coins are down here, Bitcoin's up here, XRP's over here, right? So the altcoins have to go up, they have to go back down, they have to go sideways, right? So now how does it all correlate and fit together? Well, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be right. Maybe XRP does not get to go on a ride until Bitcoin comes down for reaccumulation, goes sideways, and then it breaks out, right? Or until the alts get back into their retracement levels, come back down into reaccumulation, then XRP can go. But then at that point, what would the chart of XRP look like? I have no idea. I mean, you can say A, B, something like this, and then go, or just more of this and then go. It just doesn't look right. It looks like it has to make a decision soon. So well, we can talk about that on the next XRP video. But I think that's it for now. Going back to Bitcoin, my final thought here is, look, here's what I would pay attention to. Even on the 4-day chart. The 4-day chart, we have 3 hours left. And look at this. Let's see if we can break above these highs right here. That would be great. Let's go to the 2-day chart. 2-day chart, same thing. We could get a brand new 2-day weekly candle. Let's go to the 3-day candle. 3-day candle, we can actually move it down here, but we have 2 days left for that candle to close, right? So it'd be nice to see this candle close higher, right? So we want it to close. Ideally, we want it to close above this wick. A, B, C, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be my hope. Now, the conservative in me says, we're probably, the bull boy in me says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The conservative in me says 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Why? Because we have a WXY. Why? Because we have to come down. We still haven't tested it, the bull market support band. Also, a double bottom. So you can see this wick here attempted to back test this area here, right? All this in here. So oftentimes, you wick off of it, you come back up, you come back down, hopefully make a low and then a higher low, but we can come down, make a double bottom, right? But for now, like if I look at Ethereum, it's looking awfully head and shoulder-ish, right? So you have maybe a shoulder ahead, maybe this is another shoulder, right? You take that down, that gets us below the bull market support band. Not something we want, but I don't put any purpose behind that, because Bitcoin is doing its thing. And not only that, Ethereum hasn't even tested its bull market support band, so this thing can be an A, B, C, and then go. So something like that. Now we can continue going higher, right? But the main thing to take away from this video, if you can take away anything, is there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to be worried about. Obviously, we're at retracement levels, right? But I mean, look at this. We're engulfing here. Not to say we're going to break out, but still, this is for me. It's all about the altcoins, and it's all about the environment that the altcoins need to perform. And I'm telling you right now, the Bitcoin environment is good. This is a good environment. Even if we do come all the way back down to 38K, it's still a good environment. Why? Because then we can test, and then we can bounce, and then what are we doing? We're ranging. And what does a range mean? That means people are rotating into alts so that alts can catch up. Now, a few things I do want to point out is we have bearish divergence forming. You can see a lot of times we get 3 drives to the high. So you have a high, you have another high, and then you come up for another high. So you have 1, 2, 3. And it's like, you call it 3 drives to the high. So you have this line here, right? So the line is going up, the price is going up. But look at the RSI, it's going down. It's going down. So this is why I think Bitcoin is over, it's done. I think we can get a little higher. I think we could break out. But I think it's done. Meaning, I think that distribution is going to happen. And I think the fact that we're going to start ranging. And once we start ranging in here, that's when altcoins, like, for example, if I put Theta here, look at Theta. Theta is going flat, and it's down here. And as we range, that gives Theta a chance to get back up here. And now both coins are up here. Then they both go down. They both go sideways. And that's when they start the new bull run. So that's sort of what I'm thinking. We'll see what happens. But like if you're an altcoin holder and you're looking at your portfolio, and let's say you have a $10,000 portfolio, well, and Bitcoin is sort of ranging in here, and then Theta all of a sudden catches up, right? 200%. So you have a $10,000 portfolio. Now it's up. That $10,000 is up 215%. So now you're looking at like almost 30 grand, right? So it's a big deal. And that's what I'm saying. Like I'm bullish until I can't be. So that'll be it for this video. I try to keep it under an hour. I appreciate you guys for watching. If you haven't seen it already, definitely watch my last video because I put a lot of detail in the altcoin of Theta. But even if you don't hold Theta, I definitely would consider watch it. But again, guys, appreciate you guys. If you can, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.